Hi guys, my name's Andy, welcome back to Scottish Dream Productions and another video. We're back at Ribble Valley Railway, as you can see. We have some trains running and a giant hole in the middle. That's the village that is over here. A couple of things I want to talk about. Over the last, say, year or so, this layout has been, well, taken care of. Not really myself anymore, it's been passed around to other volunteers. At the moment, Gary, the Ribble pilot editor and railway photographer, has been doing a great job looking after it so far, but obviously the last couple of years gone by, the layout has seen quite a lot of neglect. I mean, if you can see over here, the tracks that hold the perspex in over there are just completely gone, so that needs redoing. Same is for these, they are absolutely, worn to bits. So there's quite a bit of woodwork to do on the layout itself rather than the actual layout this time. I say that, but there is quite a bit of work to do on the layout, starting with this village. Now for some time this village hasn't had any lights. They blew quite a while back, and we weren't sure if we could get underneath and have a look, but I can actually say under closer inspection there are wires leading to each of the lights, and obviously the two bus wires that goes to power all. Now then, let's put that back down. Looking at that, that is a big lift in my hopes for me to get lights back in this village. It means all these can safely be pulled out and replaced with ease of access, probably 12 volt woodland scenic lamps, or maybe some just some cheap stuff off eBay that'll do well. But for the time being, that's a plan for this one. I do plan to add some more figures maybe on here, but as time goes on we will see. The same can also be said for this one over here. I don't think it's got lights on it, I think it's more got lights in its buildings. So I shall now attempt to take this off the layout, over to the table and have a look underneath. It's a lot heavier than I expected. Would have helped if I took this out first. It's the one piece that sort of sits on top of the village and, kind of holds it in place on the layout. So, from what I've just gathered, it's still wired up underneath. So I'm now going to go underneath, try to disconnect it, and then get it off the layout, onto the table here, and then see what I can do from there. Okay, so, in the midst of trying to get that disconnected, I just accidentally disconnected the third track, which is right next to the wires that go to the village lights. So I've just had to reconnect that. And now I finally disconnected the village lights. We're going to take it off, take it over to the table, and see what we can do. Okay, so on further inspection of this one, I discovered that all the wires are not actually connected to the lamps, but they're connected to lights in the buildings. So whether these lights still work or not, I have no idea. I've not had a chance to test them yet. If I do get a chance to test them, I will and find out what the issue is. If we have to, we'll rip out each ball one by one and replace them. Maybe get some brighter ones in there so when we turn the lights off it looks brilliant. We're also planning on totally replacing the station, because as you can see it's currently the old grey plastic Hornby platforms, and I plan to replace it with the sort of grey and maroon South Carlisle Scaledale ones, which will look much nicer and a bit more bright. Maybe even add a bridge in there as well. And here's a little history lesson for you guys. If you can tell, when we got this layout, it originally had a turntable. Instead of keeping the turntable, put a village on it. What do you think should have been here? The turntable with the engine shed, or the village? Let me know in the comments below. Now then guys, this is something I've never seen before on a model layout. If you can see, the camera's picking up those brighter dots there. That's not a reflection of something. So what's happened is, that little sentinel used to be on track 3, which is that one. I've since moved it to that one because I just looked at the tracks in a closer light, and if you can see those faint dots running along the side of the track, that is actually dents in the rail. Now what I think has happened, okay, sorry, but oh. Do over. So as I was saying, on closer inspection of the rails, if my phone would maybe be good for me in focus. No? Okay. There. You can see the dent there, there. That has all been caused by what I believe to be the sentinel. Focus. Sod it. That's all been caused by what I believe the sentinel getting stuck on the rails, and then the wheels just constantly spinning, and has caused quite a bit of damage. So what I've done is I've ripped up this piece, which was originally the curve, and I've also pulled up this piece, which was just along this back straight. Now what I am going to do, this piece is probably going to get salvaged as much as I can. I'm going to do further inspection, see if there's any more points where the wheels have slipped, like along here, and caused damage. That bit can probably be, you know, I guess kind of scrapped and put into like a little derelict siding scene. This is going to take the place of this one, so that one's going to go where the curve is. And I've got several straights here that I'm going to put together along there. First, I need to clean the ballast and, you know, get it all fine, powdered again, because if you look at it, it's all just clumps at the moment. So let's get on with that. Okay, so now that I have all the ballast cleared up, It's in the tub over there. I've given it a good mashing up, so when I relay it, it should be a bit finer than it was, rather than gigantic clumps. Now over here, I have the two tracks side by side. This is the damaged one, and this is the one we're going to be replacing it with. Side by side, they are of equal length, but this one has had some track cut off in order to compensate for the bends that it had to do to align the track properly. I can't do it one-handed, sorry guys. Now, this is an easy task. You just gotta have some track cutters, some patience, lots of skill, and, well, like I said, lots of patience. So let's get on with it. Unfortunately, guys, that is where I'm going to have to leave it. I've got the curve in a general way I want it to be. I've got the rest of the track there ready to go. I've got the ballast. The one thing I'd forgot to get was track pins. So I cannot carry on with this until I get track pins, which I am going to make some phone calls about, get some arranged, and then we will carry on in due time. So that's it from me for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you see on Ribble Valley Railway and the progress and the things that's going to change, excuse me, like the video and subscribe to see more. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, and see you later. Bye.
Come forth, engine shed. Now it's a home for slain Scotsmen. That's Nigel Gillespie too. Lindsay and Lord Nelson, to name just a few. There's the black fight and the knife tie, and the moth is there galore. a 90 and the Frenchman, plus many, many more.